After the Cubs' most recent loss, the Ben Brown has Chicago Cubs fans ready to cut him off the team completely. They're praying to God, please don't ever let Craig Counsell send Ben Brown out to start a game ever again. But I think we're kind of overreacting a little bit. Let's talk about it. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I am your host, Mike Jones. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching. Again, the Chicago Cubs did lose the series and this game today to the Philadelphia Phillies, 7-2. The Chicago Cubs fall to 41-27. Meanwhile, the Phillies rise to 39-29 on the young season. Chicago Cubs just kind of punted this game. If we're going to be honest, they, like I said, it was not sitting PCA, allowing Ben Brown to stay in as long as he did when he clearly did not have the best stuff and you saw he was struggling. You have a healthy bullpen that you could go use, and you just kind of chose to stick with Ben Brown and allow him to give up as many runs as he did. Now, am I surprised by this? No. Craig Counsell has said, guys, for the longest of time that Ben Brown is going to have to figure it out on the job. And so what that's going to require out of Chicago Cubs fans is patience. And I understand that we have not won the division since, 2020? And I understand that we have not had a playoff appearance since that same time. I understand that a lot of you are very eager and don't want the Chicago Cubs to tailspin and end up letting this thing all slip away. But what I want to tell you is calm down. It's going to be okay. Why is it going to be okay? Because you still have waiting in the wings, ready to come back, Shota Imanaga. You still have a trade that is coming for a starter. Ben Brown is not going to be a starter the rest of the year, guys. The Chicago Cubs, and on top of all that, Chicago Cubs did not lose any ground in the division. The Brewers and the Cardinals both lost today. It's going to be okay. Your next 4 games are against the Pittsburgh Pirates. If you don't pull a 3 out of 4 in that, then you deserve to lose the division. If your bats don't heat up off of that, then you deserve to lose the division. This is another one of those series that's coming up where the Chicago Cubs have to step on their opponent's neck. They are at home. It's 4 games at Wrigley. You have not been at Wrigley for a while. And then after that, Tuesday, you got the Brewers coming into town, who have cooled off since their little 8-game win streak, 9-game, I think it was. So the Chicago Cubs have plenty of opportunity to distance themselves. All you have to do is come out and execute. And I believe the Chicago Cubs will. Listen, we knew going into this stretch, going up against the Phillies and going up against the Detroit Tigers, it was not going to be easy. Would I've liked the Cubs to come out and win both of those series and prove their dominance in the NL? I mean, I guess put a dominance in the league completely, because you played a great NL team and you played the best team in the AL. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. But that's not realistic either. You have to understand, the Chicago Cubs do not have all of their pieces. We are missing Miguel Amaya. We are missing Shota Imanaga. We are missing guys, key pieces that are a part of this game, that are a part of this team. So I was not expecting the Chicago Cubs to just keep passing all these tests with flying colors. You're going to have to fall sometimes. Ben Brown is learning the hard way about what it means to be a pitcher in the MLB. Now, I've talked to a couple of you on X, and you guys have said that you don't want to see Ben Brown gain experience at the risk of the Chicago Cubs season going to crap. And that's a valid point. That is a very valid point. The Chicago Cubs season means more than Ben Brown getting on-the-job training. But I feel that Craig Counsell has made it very, very clear that Ben Brown will get every opportunity possible to succeed this season. He has made that clear. I mean, he's, like I said, even the most we've seen Craig Counsell do is start Chris Flexen for an inning before Ben Brown came out. And then Ben Brown proceeded to come out and look like a straight up ace after that. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys want to see. Until the trade happens and until Shota Imanaga comes back, Ben Brown's going to be a starter. And it's not all bad. Yes, it's frustrating in this game. It looked like the Chicago Cubs just really didn't even try in this game. Yes, Ben Brown gave up 3 runs in the first inning. And Craig Counsell kept him in all the way into the 5th. He pitched basically to the end of the 5th. He just didn't get the last out of the 5th. In that time, he gave up 6 runs and 5 2/3 innings. And it's frustrating. I understand, guys. It's also frustrating for me, too, as somebody that watches every game or listens to every game, because I need to come here and talk to you about what I see on the field of play. I get it. It is very frustrating. However, Ben Brown does have the stuff to be a legit starter in this league. When he has command of that fastball and when he's hitting his spots with that curve, with that knuckle curve, Ben Brown is one of the most dangerous pitchers in the game. His velocity and how he's able to breeze past hitters, it's real. It's the real deal. Now, the problem is consistency with Ben Brown. But if you really look at it, every single loss that the Chicago Cubs took outside of the Tyreek Skubal game last Friday night, every loss was pretty much inconsistency from the pitchers. I mean, that's kind of on par for most of the losses of the 27 losses the Chicago Cubs have had. Very rarely are they just flat out outscored or dominated. It's just your pitching hasn't been able to back you up. And that's why I suspect the Chicago Cubs in the second half are going to have a lot more success. We're going to win a lot more games than we lose. And that's because the guys you see pitching right now in the starting rotation are not all going to be there. I have every confidence in Jed Hoyer that he will provide the team with what it needs in starting pitching. Now, that may cost us some of our prospects. That may cost us Owen Casey. That might even cost us the Jaguar, depending on exactly who we decide to get. But that's what happens when you push all the chips in and you try to go for winning the World Series this year. And from every account and every single talking head around baseball, every person that talks about baseball, they all believe that Jed Hoyer and the Chicago Cubs are all in on this season. After the second month of the season, we were hearing about the Chicago Cubs and Jed Hoyer being all in. And tell me when have you ever, in the whole time that Jed has been the head of this team and president, have you heard that they're all in during the second month of the season? But this team has shown you something. They're better than a lot of these teams that they're playing. And to be quite honest with you guys, had our pitching matched up, I felt like we would have been better than the Phillies. The Phillies have been scuffling. We just ran into their best pitchers at the most inconvenient time. When we don't have our guys. But that's okay. You're going to have series like this, guys. It's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows. You're not going to sweep every series. You're not going to win every series. That's just not baseball. This is a decent Phillies team, a hard-hitting Phillies team. Their defense is horrible. It's atrocious. But their offense is legit. So with that being said, and with that in mind, you guys got to remember to chill. It's going to be okay. Ben Brown is a good pitcher. He is. His numbers may not say it. The consistency may not say it. But I really believe Ben Brown is a good pitcher. I do. Because I've seen him when he's on. I mean, I'm the guy that literally hopped on this channel last Friday, even in a loss on Friday night, and told you it was the funnest loss, which I know funnest is not a word. My wife kept telling me that. It was the funnest loss of the season for me. Like, that game was just electric, and it felt like what the postseason is going to feel like. And Ben Brown showed up. started the game, and he showed up. Cubs just weren't able to get to Skewball enough. So Seiya Suzuki was a couple hard hit balls away from the Chicago Cubs winning that series. It happens. It's going to happen. The Chicago Cubs are not going to be lucky to cruise by every series. There are going to be some teams that's going to get them. We still got to see the Yankees. We still got to see the Cardinals. We may drop a series or two to the Cardinals. I'm going to just tell you guys off jump before anybody, is up in arms. We might drop a series or two to the Cardinals. We still got to play the Yankees. Still got to play the Mariners. Still got to play a bunch of other teams. Hell, we may go to Colorado and be unlucky. I mean, I'm surely none of you guys have forgotten last season when the Cubs went to Colorado and lost to the Rockies. Got beat and lost a series to the Rockies in Colorado. I remember it very well. It was annoying as hell. What I want to tell you guys is that we have to have patience. And there was a question that was brought up to me on X. And I want to pose this question to you. This is our question of the day. What is having too much patience? When is it too much patience for Ben Brown? When, if you're Craig Counsell, would you make the move to remove Ben Brown from the lineup? When would you move him back to the bullpen? If you're asking me, he's not going back until Shota Imanaga comes back, which could be next week. From all the reports that we've seen, Shota Imanaga is doing well, doing fine. He has not regressed at all. He did throw some pitches in the Arizona League. And like I said, he pitched 2 innings and he looked good. He looked good. So we're waiting to hear what next steps are for Shota. But seriously, like I said, I don't foresee Craig Counsell moving Ben Brown at least until Shota Imanaga comes back. And that's not even to say that if Cade Horton don't come and stink up the joint tomorrow or on Friday against the Pirates, that he not the one they don't send back to AAA. I don't know. It'll be interesting, though. It will be very, very interesting to see. Also, I'm not sold on Genesis Cabrera. I know it's J. I know it's supposed to be an H. It's a G. So to me, it's Genesis Cabrera. I'm not sold on him. If and when the Chicago Cubs do make a deal, make a trade, he's the first one gone. I'm not sold on him. Don't love it. Don't even think the bullpen needs him. He gave another home run today. I'm cool. Boom, homered off of him. Bohm had a really great series against the Cubs. Really, really great series. But again, he's another one of those silent Cub killers, man. I hate when the Cubs play the Phillies because it's always something. Always, it feels like. But yeah, y'all, patience. But I want to know from you, when is it too much patience? When are you like, all right, Mike, I've seen enough? Ben Brown on the season, his record is he is now 3-5. Jesus Luzardo was actually on the Cubs' radar as a pitcher that the Chicago Cubs were apparently in the midst of making a deal for, and Jed pulled out last second because of something on his medical report. What's hilarious about that is that Jesus Luzardo is 6-2 on the season and looked dominant tonight. He did lose his last 2 starts previous to this. But Jesus Luzardo has looked dominant and picked up his 6th win, unhittable against the Chicago Cubs. So you take the good with the bad, and you understand that you left a lot of runs on the bases tonight. You had 8 hits. That was an opportunity. You only scored 2 runs. Got to score if you're gonna have mediocre pitching at times. Sometimes Ben Brown ain't gonna have it. Colin Ray ain't going to have it. Chicago Cubs got to figure this out, man. You got spots open. Craig Counsell's going to have some real tough decisions here real soon. Does he keep Ben Brown in the lineup? Does he send Colin Ray to the bullpen? Does he keep Colin Ray? Does he send Ben Brown to the bullpen? Does he send Cade Horton back to AAA and keep both Ben Brown and Colin Ray up? We'll have to see. We will have to see. But listen, your pick to perform player of the game today was Carson Kelly. He went 2 for 4 in this game. He was the only one getting licks off of Jesus Luzardo, who looked dominant in this game. And yeah, like I said, him and Nico Horner both went. He went 2 for 4. Nico Horner went 2 for 3 in this game. So like I said, those are your players, your pick to perform players. The Chicago Cubs do have baseball tomorrow night, 7:05 start time. The Chicago Cubs versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's right. Cubs and Pirates tomorrow. Jameson Taillon taking the mound for the Cubs, going up against Alex Haney. Haney is 3-4 with the 3.24 ERA, a 1.15 WHIP, and 72 innings pitched. Jameson Taillon, 6-3 with a 3.54 ERA, with a 0.97 WHIP, and 76.1 innings pitched. The Chicago Cubs are your matchmate, your predictor. They are 73.1% odds to win this game tomorrow. So hopefully we see some big games from some guys. Hopefully they're able to keep Andrew McCutchen quiet, and O'Neal Cruz does something stupid, because he's prone to do something like that. And again, the Chicago Cubs still do have a 5-game lead in the Central Division due to the Brewers and the Cardinals both losing today. The Cardinals are 36-32. The Brewers are 36-33. So as I've told you guys before, chill. It's gonna be okay. The Cardinals also coming to Chicago here soon this month, or I'm sorry, coming to Chicago during 4th of July weekend. The Cardinals are not a good away team. They are 14-18 away. They are 22-14 at home. So they do most of their damage at home. Meanwhile, the Brewers are 17-18 away and 18-16 at home. So again, we'll have to see what happens. We have a team coming in that is 9-22 when they are away from their house in the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we will see them. And again, let's take advantage of a team that does not play well away from PNC Park and do what we have to do. Chicago Cubs, take care of business. Get this win. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Hopefully tomorrow's episode we'll get a chance to fly the W again, and Chicago Cubs will record win number 42 on the season. Until next time, I appreciate each and every last one of you. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. Leave a voicemail at 217-816-5498 or write me at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. But more importantly, get active in those comments below. Let me know, what is your decision? What would you do when Shota Imanaga comes back, when the Cubs imminently make a trade? Who is going to the bullpen? Who's going to AAA? And who is staying in the starting rotation? I need to know from you guys. Comment below. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.